Today we'll be making an automated IoT door sign with motion detection and Arduino Cloud access. IoT stands for Internet of Things, so we'll be controlling our device from the web. Arduino Cloud allows me to access and modify my sign using the dashboard, through the website on my PC, or through the app on my cell phone. In this video I'll be using Arduino Nano 33 IoT, I2C LCD display, a 20x4 model, a breadboard power supply, a breadboard, the HC SR501 PIR motion sensor, a 5mm LED, a 1000 microfarad capacitor, some jumper wires, and a 220 ohm resistor. For this project I don't have anything too fancy. I'm using a breadboard. I'm just going to use this whole breadboard on the back of this 3D printed case that I'm going to create here. And so I'm just going to put the breadboard on there. I've got a breadboard power supply which will supply 5 volt power to my 20x4 I2C LCD display. I'm also using the Arduino Nano 33 IoT board. I've got an LED here just so it lights up whenever motion is detected. I'm using this motion sensor. That's a 220 ohm resistor. I also have a 1000 microfarad capacitor because I noticed that this was flickering over a long period of time. This kind of cleared it up. No issues with that. Here's a diagram of my setup. On the left side you can see I zoomed in on the display pins. I'm also using some M3 standoffs and some M3 screws. That'll attach my display here to the board, to this one. And then my motion sensor will go right there, display will go right here. I printed a very basic front and back to my web controlled door sign. And if there's any interest in this, I will share any updates I do to the sign or the 3D printed case. This will be the back of it, so you'll see it all come together. I'm going to go ahead and put this together. I'm going to hot glue the back of this. This is just 2 smaller breadboards, and they are stuck to a piece of wood here, and I use this all the time. I'm going to stick this, I'm going to hot glue it, just put one spot of hot glue on the back of this board just to hold it in place. This wouldn't be anything super permanent because this may change. I may alter it, may do some other stuff with it. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this over the display. The holes do line up, which is pretty nice. And we'll put these M3 screws through the front. Alright, I got all the standoffs on. It looks kind of crazy right now, but hopefully it won't here in a second. I'm going to glue this on the inside of this so the breadboard will be facing the back of this. I was going to put it on the outside where you could see it if you were behind it, but I think it'd look nicer if I could fit everything in this little space, and that's why these are so tall. Kind of looks goofy right now, but hopefully it won't here in just a minute. Okay, well I got everything attached here. I had to spin my breadboard around, so it's a little harder to get to, but still manageable. To power it up, power here, power here. I've already set this up in the cloud, but I'm going to show you the steps really quick using my Arduino R4 Wi-Fi board. If you need a little more guidance setting this up in Arduino Cloud, be sure to check out the video Getting Started with Arduino Cloud IoT for Beginners. I go into a little more depth in the whole setup process, and you can find the link to that video in the description. At this point, go to arduino.cc and you can click Arduino in the cloud or this little icon up here. Once you're in your account, you'll see your little icon image up there top left. Just click on Devices, and then from here you can see I have a previous device. We're going to add device, so click on Add Device here, and it should bring you to this screen. And since I have an Arduino brand, I'm going to click on Arduino, but there are third-party choices as well. You need to have Arduino Cloud Agent installed to proceed. Remember, I connected the Arduino Uno R4 Wi-Fi and it has identified the board. Now I just need to configure it. If you're having problems at this point, you want to make sure that your Cloud Agent is running, and that would be this little icon right here. And you need it to appear in your system tray while you're working in the Arduino Cloud. I'm going to go ahead and give it a random name as we work through the setup process, and then I'm going to click Next. And now the Arduino is being configured to communicate with the Arduino Cloud. And that's all we have to do to be IoT ready. And once the site loads up, you'll click on this little LED icon thing right here to create a thing. And we're going to create our first thing, but first we need to set up our network. And here's where you enter your network credentials and save it. And this is a one-time thing. You don't have to do this over and over. Now we open the drop-down menu and we click on Things. Once you click on Things, it's going to show you all the things that you've created. If you want to create another one, just click Add Thing up there in the top right corner. We're going to select our project. We're going to go in here and look at the variables. As you can see in this project, I have 4 variables. The first one here is count, and that's so that I can count the number of times the motion sensor is activated so that I can put on my dashboard an actions versus time graph. I'm going to name it count. It's going to be an integer type. I'm going to declare it in this field, and then I'm going to give it a read and write permission, and then it'll update only on change with the threshold starting at 0. Now the next variable I'm going to name display, and that's going to be for my LCD display. I'm going to name it display, and it's going to be a character string so that it can hold letters or characters so that it can say words on the screen. Then I'm going to make sure I declare it in this field, give it a read and write permission, and then it'll update only on change. Now my third variable is an LED, and I just wanted that on there to see that the motion sensor was working. I'm going to name it LED. It's going to be a Boolean value, meaning true or false. It's going to be on or off. I'm going to declare it in this field. I'm going to give it a read and write permission, and the variable will update only on change. My fourth variable is named motion. That's my motion sensor, and it too is a Boolean variable, meaning it either has 1 or 2 values, true or false. It'll be either activated or not. And here I'll declare it, and then I'll give it a read and write permission, and it'll update only on change. After you're done adding your variables, you can click on Sketch, and you'll see 4 tabs. The first tab is the main code, and then you're going to see a README tab, and then you're going to see a Things tab, a Things Properties tab, and this is generated as you were setting up your cloud variables, and you're not going to have to really mess with this a whole lot unless you really alter the main code a lot. In this tab, you're going to see function declarations, variables, property initialization. You see some libraries and some network credentials. But back here in the main code on your .ino tab, you're going to see at the top libraries and headers, and you're going to have some pin definitions, and then LCD initialization. Then we have some variables that you're going to use, and then in the setup you're going to initialize serial communication, set pin modes for the LED and the motion sensor, and then initialize the LCD display and show a startup message, and also connect to the Arduino IoT Cloud. The loop function is going to continuously update the Arduino Cloud. It's going to check the PIR sensor for motion, and if motion is detected, it's going to turn the LCD display and the LED on and show a message from the IoT Cloud. If there's no motion detected for 10 seconds, it turns off the display and LED. And then down here we have some callback functions. This is the void on display change, and this updates the LCD display when a new message is received from the IoT Cloud. This sketch creates an interactive system that reacts to motion, displaying messages on an LCD and controlling an LED, all while being connected to the Arduino IoT Cloud for remote management. The code itself is highly commented to help you with any questions you may have. Also, I'm going to post this on the Facebook page so you can get it there if you're interested in it. Now at this point we're going to go to the dashboard, so click the dashboard section here, and we'll see this. Select the project that you want to go to the dashboard of. The dashboard is great for device management. It allows you to view device status, connectivity, and properties. It also allows you to create and configure properties that represent the state of the device. And these properties can be read from or written to, which enables real-time data exchange. This is also a place where you can edit or add various widgets to the dashboard, such as buttons, sliders, gauges, and displays, which interact with the properties of their devices, and this enables control over the hardware and real-time monitoring of sensor data. And the dashboard can also visualize data from sensors connected to Arduino devices, and that allows us to track and analyze performance over time. For us, it's going to be a graph that can plot the time and number of times the motion sensor is activated. I have a widget named Value Selector with the messages that you'll see on the LCD screen, and here on the dashboard I can edit the messages. I can add, remove, or update the messages to make them more current for my LCD display. You can also remotely control your devices through the dashboard and send commands and adjust the settings. You can also receive alerts and notifications based on specific conditions or data thresholds, and the Arduino Cloud can be integrated with other services like Amazon's Alexa, and that allows for expanded functionality of your projects. Here's another look at my project, and you'll see that the LEDs lit up when motion is detected. I made it with 3 standoffs, and as you can see it's a little too wide, so I'm going to bend down the capacitor and then remove one of the standoffs, and it'll make it a little more manageable. Well, here we are, just started it up, and I'm getting that message that says system initializing, and once it detects motion, I set it for on vacation. And once motion is detected again, it comes on again with the same message. Here's a look at the monitor, the dashboard, and I can select whatever message I want to display from the screen from here. And as you can see, it says on vacation just like it did on my dashboard. Here's another look. It's a little cleaner. And from the phone, I can access the graph, and I have an option of looking at the live graph as motion is being detected, or over a course of a day, or 7 days, or 15 days. I can also select different messages from my phone, so I don't have to be tied to my computer. And you can see the LED and motion widget. That allows me to know when motion is being detected when I'm looking at my phone. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. If it was, be sure to like by clicking the thumbs up. Also, consider subscribing and share this with somebody else who may find benefit from it. And I'll see you again with another project.